What's going on, guys? It's Tommy, and this is going to be my collection tour for my Star Wars room. Now, this room I've been curating for about 14 months now, but I've been very heavily collecting Star Wars merchandise for about 5 years. A lot of what you see here is just an accumulation of the last 5 years. Some of it was given to me, gifted to me, and I'll talk about that as we go through the collection tour here. This is my labor of love. You know, this is what I like to do as my hobby. This is my passion project. So for me, it's just really exciting to share this with you all and kind of just cover, you'll get to know me as a Star Wars fan and, my Star Wars experience with what I collect. And honestly, again, this is just a huge thing that I'm passionate about, and I love to talk to other people about it. So I figured I'd love to just share with you all my Star Wars room and my collection. All right, so we're gonna start over here by the door. So on the door here, you actually have this puzzle, this Obi-Wan Kenobi puzzle from around the time Attack of the Clones came out. It was gifted to me by my dad. This was from his personal collection, and he had it framed. And then down here, I have an Acolyte poster. This came from the early screening of the Acolyte. My good friend Hybrid Toy Reviews picked this up for me when he went. Down here, we've got some 3D printed Battle Droid fingers. These were 3D printed for me for Comic-Con Erie by, again, friend of the channel, Hybrid Toy Reviews. Over here up top, we've got a nice little Force Awakens poster that I bought when I was in college. And then over here, one thing you should know about me is I'm a huge fan of the 2003 Clone Wars Micro Series. So up here, we've got a couple of these like exclusive 3-packs that came out for that show. You have one of Dirge, Ventress, and Grievous, and then the other one of Anakin and Saesee Tiin and a Phase 2 Clone Trooper. There are some other ones that I'm looking for. I'm gonna try and find those in the future. And then here we have 3 of the 6. These came out in 2007. These are the Order 66 2-packs that came out. They were Target exclusives. Each one came out with a Jedi or Sith and a unique clone trooper. And the cool thing about the Jedi and the Sith was they had soft goods robes, all of them did. And they looked really good, especially for the time, and they looked really cool. So these are probably the only 3 that I actually want, so those are probably the only 3 I'm gonna get. Down here is a Boba Fett print. That is something that my dad gave to me as a gift. I want to say one of his friends made it, and so my dad gave me that. And then down here we have another gift from friend Hybrid Toy Reviews. This is an original. This came in a magazine in 1999, the Hasbro Star Wars collection for the Phantom Menace action figures. How cool is that? Just a nice little kind of mini poster that you get in a magazine. I think that looks great, and it's a great display item. Now over here, we're gonna check out, this is pretty much the main attraction of my collection when people come over, and this is the first thing that I wanna show people is this main area. Now this over here is my Jazzwares Micro Galaxy Squadron collection. So this line for me has been a standout collector line in the last couple years, and I'm seeing if I can get up there so you can see all of them, but it's a very, very cool line, and I'm a huge fan of the Micro Galaxy Squadron. I have them all in timeline order. That's kind of how they're organized here. Kind of making sure I take my time on each shelf here. Usually I'm a bit brief when I do quick little 60-second rundowns of the collection, but it's a very, very cool. You got a lot of these ships like the Ghost here that just came out, has lights and sounds. The U-Wing is definitely one of my favorite ship designs in all of Star Wars. And then you've got the Falcon, the AT-ATs, those have lights and sounds too. This line is just really, really cool, and I'm really, really happy with the value of it as well. The value of this line. There's been a couple times I bought a couple items and maybe a piece was missing or something, and the Jazzwares team is also really, really good about responding with customer service. And I can't sing enough high praises about this line, and I really do wish Jazzwares the best in making more items for this line. I'm a huge supporter, and I will continue to support this line here. And then over here, we have, again, this is my Black Series collection. This is kind of my bread and butter. I'm a huge Hasbro the Black Series collector. But before we get into all that, I do want to show off first, this is a full-size Empire Strikes Back special edition movie poster. This was from my dad's personal collection, and if you haven't caught on yet, my dad is the reason that I have this obsession that is collecting Star Wars, and he is the reason that I'm a part of this right now. And so checking out this full-size movie poster. This was something that he gifted me. He already had it framed, and he gave me that, and I'm very thankful. And then I have some of my Hot Toys here. So this was originally when I started buying Hot Toys, I told myself I was only gonna get the 501st, and so that's why there's some 501st ones here. You got the Heavy Weapons clone with the Bark Speeder and the sidecar. You got Captain Rex, ARC Trooper Jesse, and then you have Captain Vaughn and the 332nd clone. I have some more on the way, like the ARC Trooper 5s and Echo will be joining these guys soon, as well as Clone Trooper Hardcase. But yeah, I've since then I've expanded a little bit in my Hot Toys collecting. And then of course here is my Black Series collection. So I have these organized as different shelves. So this one here, this is my First Order shelf. I'm a big fan of the First Order as a faction in the sequel trilogy. So I buy all the different variants of the First Order troopers and all the releases of them. They haven't had many in a while, but I think I've almost completely backlogged all of the releases of these guys. And I mean, as a unit, they look awesome together. My standout here is the carbonized Sith Trooper. I think he looks particularly good, but I mean, yeah, just all different troopers here. Another one for me, I love this Heavy Weapons Trooper. He's awesome, but I really wish they would do all the rest of the Knights of Ren. That's another team I'd love to see fully fleshed out in the line. We're going to go top to bottom here. So next here we have, this is all the Mandalorian Season 1. So all the figures that are specifically from the first season of The Mandalorian. You got your Mando here with his Grogu. You got some of the Imps in the back. Some of the other versions of Mando that we've seen from Season 1. As well as the Arvala 7. You got the Off-World Jawa trying to take the Suga from him. But yeah, just some really cool figures here. And then down below that, so the way I have these two shelves, kind of a sneak peek there, organized, is I have, this is like Attack of the Clones, first Battle of Geonosis, up until right when they switch over to the Phase 2 clone armor in the Clone Wars, because it's all, you know, one continuous timeline. So over on the left, you see I have a lot of figures from Attack of the Clones, the Battle of Geonosis, and then over here it kind of moves into different characters from the early seasons of the Clone Wars. You got your 5s and Echo over here, Ventress, Cad Bane, and then of course your Anakin and Obi-Wan. This is a really cool shelf, and for me, again, this is my Star Wars. You know, I grew up with the prequels, I grew up with both of the Clone Wars series. You know, I was old enough to know that there was a 2003 Clone Wars before there was a 2008 Clone Wars, and so, you know, I'm a sucker for, like I said, anything 2003 Clone Wars. Down below that now, we have, I call this my Battlefront shelf. This is a good way for me to just get a lot of characters, you know, that are playable heroes and villains in the Battlefront franchise. You know, stuff that wouldn't fit on most of my other shelves, but I really like the character. So, you know how we as collectors, we kind of jump through mental gymnastics to make sure that we can get stuff. So this is just my way of getting, you know, Rey, BB-8, you know, Boba Fett, things like that, that really wouldn't fit otherwise. And then below that, we have the Andor shelf. Now, Andor Season 2 is about to drop as of the recording of this video, so this shelf hopefully will get a little more crowded. But the Andor figures are super cool, and the show is awesome. Obviously, most people feel that way about it. So, of course, I had to get the figures for this. Down here, we've got my shelf for the Book of Boba Fett. Excuse the dust. I'm in the middle of moving a bunch of stuff around. But got the Book of Boba Fett down here. This is another great show. I thought this show was a really fun ride, just from front to back, beginning to end. It was really fun. It was great to see some backstory for Boba Fett, and I really, really enjoy the figures from the show, too. Then up next, we have all the figures from Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. One of my favorite Star Wars movies ever. As you can see, I got a lot of different troopers mixed in here with all these guys. The most recent being this Rebel Trooper holding the Death Star plans. That's a super cool one for me. And these guys are just awesome. I love these figures. They're very dated, that's for sure, but I think as a crew, they still look really good. Up next, we have my Imperial shelf. So this is all the Imperial ranks. This shelf is extremely cramped, and I'm probably gonna have to figure something else out for how I will display these, because we have the Dewback over here, we have the Shadow Scout bike and the regular Scout Trooper bike kind of taking up a lot of space. In the back, I have lined up different credit collection and carbonized figures just to make the back of the shelf pop a little bit more. But as you can see, I've got all different trooper variants here. And then towards the front, You get some officers, Squadron members, and then of course your disguised Luke and George Lucas. And then of course behind them you got Tarkin and Veers, some of the best. I think Tarkin is probably my favorite Imperial officer. Up here you have, as I mentioned before, this is the later seasons of the Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith. This is also probably going to be a shelf that's going to get a lot more cramped because 2025 is the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. So you're probably going to get a lot more figures in here from that movie. Again, this one has a lot more clones on it. I'm a huge clone fan, a cloner, as some would say. But this shelf is, again, just a really cool one. You got some really great figure designs, character designs, and just overall, this is one of my favorite shelves. That's why I keep it in the kind of the front and center. And then here we have my Mandalorian Season 2 shelf. These are all the figures that came out. You get a lot of the Mandalorians here. You got Trapper Wolf, aka Dave Filoni, hiding back there. And just more versions of the Mandalorian again. And some awesome new character designs once again. Up next here is my Ahsoka series shelf. I really enjoyed the Ahsoka series quite a bit, and I really liked a lot of the characters that we saw from this show. I'm excited for them to release some more characters. I know Thrawn, Enoch, and some Night Troopers are on their way, so I really can't wait to see this shelf fleshed out just a little bit more. Over here, I call this my Grand Army of the Republic shelf. These are all my clone troopers that don't directly fit in with my Clone Wars shelves, and some technically non-canon designs like the 442nd Siege Battalion, the green one back there, some of your Revenge of the Sith clone commanders. You got Delta Squad in here as well. Just a nice little array of troopers, even the little Senate Guard hiding in the corner there. But yeah, a very colorful shelf for sure. And then down here we have this one just graduated from a small shelf to a big shelf, so it's kind of barren right now, but we got the Mandalorian Season 3. This one is going to also be getting some more figures very soon, and hoping that they are just as good as these ones I have now, because these figures they've made so far for this season are awesome. Down here we have probably one of my favorite series in all of Star Wars, The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch is just, especially as a Clone Wars kid, this one hit me in the feels. I love this series. You can see I got some of the other guys hiding in the back, but yeah, I love the Season 2 designs. I love the Season 1 designs. Everything about this show is just awesome. You can see Crosshair kind of turning his back on the team in this one here. So yeah, just an amazing show, and I really like these figures as well. Down here, got my Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order shelf. So you can see from I guess I'd call it the Jedi series, There's more figures coming. I still have yet to play Jedi Survivor, funnily enough, but that's what happens when you work 60 hours a week and, your life is work, so you don't really have time to play video games anymore, but I will get around to playing the story mode a little bit. But down here, you have figures from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I really like the figures. I was kind of whatever about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, to be honest with you, but the figures from the show are just really awesome, and a lot of these are just cool designs, so this is a really great shelf, I think. Down here, we've got my Force Unleashed shelf. This has the Star Killer from the Hasbro PulseCon exclusive version from a little bit ago, and then some other figures here. Got my figures from the Clone Wars 2003. I love these guys. These ones are awesome. Up here, you got my figures from Star Wars Rebels. Really hoping we get some more figures from Rebels, maybe from the later seasons of the show. There's a lot of characters I'd like to see filled from this show. Up here, this is a newer shelf, my Phantom Menace shelf. A lot of these figures come from the Phantom Menace 25th anniversary they've been doing. That Droideka is a standout one, and this Maul and the Sith Speeder is just too cool. Definitely recommend getting either of those. And then up here we have my Acolyte shelf. Now, I really have to say, regardless of your thoughts on the Acolyte series, these action figures are some of the best the Black Series has to offer, and because of that, I would highly recommend getting some of these figures. Now we're going to move on to some of my other stuff. This is my desk area. So this is where I play my video games, over here with my friends. Right over here by these two lamps is where I do lots of my reviews. There's the channel logo. Shout out to Action Display for the channel logo, an original design by Action Display. But up here, I do collect a little bit of Hasbro's The Vintage Collection line. So you'll see that I do have the Deluxe Vintage Collection Jango Fett, as well as some of the Clone Trooper 4-packs that they've made. They look really cool. I keep those sealed, as with the rest of my clone troopers from the vintage collection. You'll see, really, I only buy all the clone troopers that they make, and I kind of just go through and I'll hang them up on the wall in order of their VC number. So I really enjoy the clone troopers, and I think the art on the cards looks really, really cool, especially with this 4-pack from the Bad Batch here. That's another cool one. Down here we got a couple more prints. These are both from my dad as gifts. Got this Stormtrooper one from Empire, and then down here you got a nice little Phase 1 Captain Rex. And then down here you got, I'm working on this right now. This is something that I've had to put on pause because I've been so busy lately, but I do plan on putting together and painting. I want to learn how to play Star Wars Legion. So I bought the miniatures, I bought the paints, I just need to get around to, putting them together and painting them. Looking over here, got the sealed set of the Target exclusive Black Series figures from the Clone Wars for the Lucasfilm 50th. And then up here I have the 3 they did for Walmart exclusive for the 2003 Clone Wars. Those ones are really cool too. Such awesome figures. And then over here, this is a little bit of a hodgepodge of stuff, just kind of a little bit of everything. You got some Legos, like my Lego Droideka set. This is awesome, the buildable Droideka here. I also have a battle pack from Battlefront 2, as well as the Mace Windu TX-130 set, the Target exclusive. That's awesome. Got some Bondi model kits here. You got Empire Boba Fett, Mando, AT-ST, and General Grievous here. Shout out to my dad for the General Grievous. That was an awesome Christmas gift. Then we got some Gentle Giant mini busts. These are the Airborne and the Commander Cody from Revenge of the Sith. The Commander Cody actually lights up. Let me see if I can find the button without dropping him. There that is. How cool is that? The Palpatine lights up so Cody can execute Order 66. Love that right there. Up here, got a couple Star Wars Pez dispensers. Got a bunch of custom stuff here. So these custom droids and the cloak on this clone trooper, these were created by Commander Cook. He is probably one of the best Star Wars Black Series customizers out there. I highly recommend his work. And these 3D printed crates were actually made and painted by Hybrid Toy Reviews. Over here, you got a couple of my favorite action figures as a kid. This is the Dexter Jetster that I had as a kid, the specific one. And then this is a Hawk Bat Battalion clone trooper, kind of matching the Black Series version over here. Got a couple Lego helmets. You got the buildable Rex and Vader helmets. And then over here, you've got, this is a 3D printed little set piece with this Force Ghosts Black Series 3-pack made by Landspeeder Luke. Definitely check out Landspeeder Luke because he has some awesome 3D printed stuff. Down here, just by my TV, we have a little Funko Pop mini kind of mystery thing for a Sith Jet Trooper. Over here, we've got a Boba Fett Bluetooth speaker and this little patch. It's for the police department of the Skywalker Ranch. It's kind of cool. And then right here, this item right here is probably my most prized possession in my collection. This is my signed autograph from Dave Filoni. My dad put this together in a custom shadow box. Dave Filoni doodled a Captain Rex doodle right there. This is specifically the Captain Rex action figure that I bought at the Target across the street from the Tinseltown, the Cinemark that I went to when I was a kid to watch the 2008 Clone Wars movie at the theater with my dad, my sister, and my cousin. Now, my dad went and met Dave Filoni in Edinburgh University, where Dave Filoni graduated from, back in, I want to say 2010, 2011. And I got to the opportunity and my dad got the opportunity to meet Dave Filoni. And when he did, he asked for an autograph for me. So Dave wrote this awesome message and doodled Captain Rex. What an awesome experience. And that's my one item that if the house was burning down, that's the one I would grab and run out of the house with. Down here, we've got my Frog Lady plush. Everybody knows I love Mommy Frog Lady. She's one of my favorite kind of silly characters here. Now over here, we have the Black Series Force FX Darksaber. This item is super cool. I love this thing. See if I can find the button there. What a cool piece. This thing's awesome. It's made of real metal, so it actually looks really cool too. Over here, we've got some cool stuff. So these two figures that are hung up here, these are going to get signed at ICC-Con 2024. I'd highly recommend going and checking out ICC-Con. I'm going to get Mark Thompson and Timothy Zahn to sign this Thrawn figure, and I'm going to get Brendan Wayne to sign this Mando figure. Down here, we have my Hot Toys Boba Fett with the throne from the end scene, the end credit scene of The Mandalorian Season 2. And around him we have the Black Series Holocom collection. Now, these are very controversial releases for the Black Series, but I think the way I have these displayed, you know, Boba's kind of the king of the bounty hunters, so to have these guys, you know, kind of displayed in a way that they're all his bounties that he's collected is, in my opinion, pretty cool. Down here, we've got some more, you know, kind of one-off and premium items. So here we have, these are all Mafex figures. These are things that I got into a little bit more recently. So these are, again, imports from Japan. These ones I really, really like. You got the Boba Fett in Empire Strikes Back look and the recovered armor look, and you have Bo-Katan as well. These ones are awesome. I think I prefer Mafex just a little over SH Figuarts. These are my SH Figuarts ones. These guys are awesome too, but I think for me, I think Mafex just edges them out just a little bit, and I can't wait to get more Mafex figures in my collection. Down here, now this was a gift from good friend 212th Hunter. This is a titanium Toys R Us exclusive, the Munilis 10 Republic gunship from the 2003 Clone Wars. What a cool piece, and it scales almost exactly to the Micro Galaxy Squadron line. It's very cool. Here's a pair of handcuffs, binders, as they're called in the universe, from Galaxy's Edge. Down here, we've got a Darth Vader action figure, carded from 2004. And then these were two things that I had to get new and I opened up. These were two of my favorite toys as a kid. This Dirge with his swoop bike and then General Grievous on the wheel bike from Revenge of the Sith. Again, two of my most favorite items in my childhood collection, you know, my childhood Star Wars addiction. So, and then down here you just got some Star Wars Legion miniatures that I'm working on, and then some 3D printed stuff that I'm working on right now. So I do paint them. I just haven't made much progress. Now moving on here, this whole area of the collection is all the Phantom Menace 1999 collection. This is all gifted to me by my father. This is all stuff that he accumulated for his own personal collection, and he gave it all to me. So Dad, I hope that you enjoy when you come over and you get to see all this stuff here, all the figures, all the deluxe sets, unboxed and not in storage for the first time in like 20 years. But these are cool because look at this, just goes to show how good care my dad took of these. 25 years old as of this year, and they both still have the working light up features on them. How neat is that? We got some deluxe sets down here, some multi-packs, just different things like that. And I figured I'd display them all. You got the communicator that they all came with, some vehicle sets. You have this Darth Maul that came with like different languages on the card, which was I guess a big deal back then. It was like a variant. You got Jabba Glob, is pretty funny. The glob is starting to leak out of the container there, but there's Jabba Glob. You got both the pod racers. Yeah, such a cool section of my collection here. I like that it's themed. I like that it's all uniform. And yeah, such a neat little section. I hope that my dad enjoys that he gets to see all this when he comes over. Over here, we've got another Force FX lightsaber. This is the Obi-Wan Kenobi saber from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. We'll switch this on. Another super cool one. This is Obi-Wan's always been my favorite Jedi. So for me, he's always been the one that if I bought a lightsaber of a Jedi, it'd be him. Down here, we've got some more roleplay items with the Black Series helmets for Mando and Boba Fett in his recovered armor look. This is kind of a placeholder shelf right now. I do have on order the Hot Toys for the Thrawn, Enoch, and Night Trooper from the Ahsoka series. So this shelf kind of serves as a placeholder. This is going to go with the HasLab Ghost. It's coming out later this year. I'm going to put this figure on my diorama that I'm going to build for that. And then up here, we've got some Funko Pops. This is the complete set of 7 from GameStop from a few years ago for the Empire Strikes Back scene. And these here are actually from the Hasbro Mission Fleet line. The Mission Fleet line was what I was collecting before Jazzware's Micro Galaxy Squadron came out. And I think that they were a great kind of alternative to that because everyone likes Star Wars vehicles, but you know, you can't always have the opportunity to collect them. So, you know, especially when you're a 6-inch collector like me. So, you know, having an opportunity to collect these, even though the characters were a little more cartoony, I really liked that I could still get some of the best vehicles in the Star Wars franchise. Up here was another gift from 212 Hunter. This is a little comic 2-pack of Dirge and Anakin. Again, if you couldn't tell, I'm a big Dirge fan. I really hope he comes into Star Wars canon soon. Then we have just some wall decorations that my aunt and uncle got me when I moved to college. We have this holographic poster. I wonder if it'll show. So on this side, it's Anakin. If you move over, it turns to Darth Vader. It's pretty cool. That came out in like Revenge of the Sith time. And then a little poster from The Mandalorian Season 1. Over here is a custom helmet bag. I am a member of the 501st Legion. If you didn't know, that's why Blitz is the mascot of my channel. And this is a custom helmet bag for my Blitz helmet. Shout out to Wally's Creations for that. Up here, we've got some more posters. You have a Revenge of the Sith movie poster. I don't know how well these are going to show up on camera just because of the reflection from the screens that are covering these. But some of these posters, like this one is from Star Wars Celebration 3, I believe. And then these ones, this is like a two-parter here. So this is like Anakin on the left, Vader on the right, from around the time Revenge of the Sith was coming out. I believe, again, this was Star Wars Celebration 3. So very, very cool. And then up here you have, again, I'm a big 2003 Clone Wars fan. So you got some old Saga Legends, Saga Collection, and some Star Wars 30th anniversary figures here, aka the coin characters. So you got Scorch, Fal Modama, shirtless Kit Fisto, Roran Karab, Yoda with his Kaibuck, and then shirtless Anakin. Some super cool figures from a bygone era. This is, again, when I was like really into collecting these figures as a kid. Down over here, you got the Wild Ride and Grogu, which I won when I did a Star Wars trivia night at my college. Got some currency here. These are from the Hasbro credit collection. And then these Calamari Flan were printed for me by Hybrid Toy Reviews. But he could only pay half. That's why there's only 3. And then we have some Star Wars reading material down here, just some various comic books, magazines, things like that. Very cool. And then right here is the other big section that my dad donated to me from his collection. This is his sealed collection of Power of the Force figures. I think these figures look awesome. You know, you got some different ones from like Shadows of the Empire, some of the red card ones, and then again, some of the holographics. Even down to right where, you know, Phantom Menace was coming out. There's these ones that have the little movie moments that when you pull down, see if I can get it to work. It kind of does that from Phantom Menace. So how cool, the flashback photo. What a neat little thing that they used to include with these. And then I even have a little, my grandma found this for me at a thrift store. This little Stormtrooper Deluxe set. But yeah, I had a lot of these ones as a kid too, just from my dad collecting, and he'd have one to rock, one to stock, and the ones to rock would end up in my hands. So these were very nostalgic for me. And again, they fill out the space nicely, and I appreciate my dad for, you know, passing these off to me from his personal collection that was in storage for the last like 2 decades. Over here's my nice little futon. You know, just got a couple Star Wars pillows, Star Wars blanket, if you just want to chill. And then up here, so fun fact, I used to be a Star Wars Funko Pop collector. That was all I collected before I got super into the action figures. And this is the remnants of what I collected. So, you got the concept series. I do have 2 of the 4 with the Star Wars Celebration logo from 2020. I can't believe I was able to order those. Those sold out in like 30 seconds, and I was able to get my hands on, I would argue, the 2 of the better ones. Oh, actually 3, because there's the Star Killer with the Star Wars Celebration logo. The only one that I got that had the shared exclusive sticker was the Chewbacca. Over here you got a couple from The Rise of Skywalker. This is the movie that really kind of in my adult life helped bring me back into Star Wars. It was this movie, The Mandalorian, and Jedi Fallen Order that really made me back into the collecting aspect of Star Wars. Again, all the Knights of Ren. These were super fun to hunt for because they were all from a different location. There was a different way you had to get each of them. Over here, you've got my Mandalorian and Grogu movie moment, and then a couple other Funko Pops, the Lights and Sounds Vader, the Luke with the Yoda, and my prized possession, the Grand Admiral Thrawn Comic-Con exclusive from 2017. If I ever meet Lars Mikkelsen, I will get that signed. And then over here, you just got, like, this is a really cool little item here, just a wall mount in black and gold of the TIE Fighter, the Special Forces TIE Fighter from Force Awakens. And then you have a couple more vintage posters from around the time Attack of the Clones came out. This one's cool. It's Anakin down here. And then this one here is just a generic one of Mace, Obi, and Annie. Very cool stuff. And well, that about wraps it up for the collection tour. I plan to do a new collection tour at the beginning of 2025. I guarantee I'm going to have some new items, maybe some stuff moved around, maybe some stuff replaced by that time. You guys know, if you're a collector, this project, this passion project, I will never feel is complete. I will always be changing it. I'll always be updating it. And that concludes my collection tour. Again, thank you for watching. I'll be posting monthly updates on this page as the collection grows and changes, as well as a full collection tour again at the beginning of 2025. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to comment, tell me what you liked, what you think I could change maybe, and I'd love to have those conversations. I love this hobby so much, and I'd love to have those conversations with you guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. May the Force be with you.